Radio, good afternoon. Morning, no, it's morning, isn't it? It's not even afternoon yet. Good morning, everyone. I am back after a month off or so. Something along those lines, yeah, work's very busy. Very, very busy. Delays, cancellations. Radio, good afternoon. Morning, no, it's morning. Shut up. Listen to myself. And obviously, personal life as well. Things get in the way. So hopefully you can all hear me okay if it's coming through. So here we go, version 2. In a nice blue Italian Airlines livery. Airline that seems to go bust every 3 months and then just regenerates as another airline. But there we go. Less said about that, the better. Right. That scared me, sorry. So here we go. Version 2. We'll give it a go. I don't think there's too much change actually. Where's the change log? Why has that disappeared? Fenix blog. Let's have a quick look. Change log and development time. Obviously lots happening. EFBs, displays, a lot of performance things I think for this, isn't it? So I think as Gav said in his video he put out yesterday, and a few other people obviously online, lots of things behind the scenes somewhere. Things have changed. Not control laws so much, but how the aircraft behaves. A little bit on the FBs. So lots of things you probably won't see and sort of notice, but some things you might do. Obviously I'm going to give it a good go and see how different it feels, if I feel any different at all. To be fair, I didn't actually think version 1 was that bad. I know there's a lot of people that whinged about the crosswind handling. Somebody said the single engine performance wasn't particularly good. If I get a chance today I might be able to do that quickly, give that a go. But I didn't actually think version 1 or version 1, whatever it was that bad. You know, I've landed this thing in sort of strong crosswinds and sort of managed it. I mean, you know, let's face it, the real aircraft isn't exactly a piece of cake when it's 38 knots across, but you know, you sort of get it down as best you can. And you know, the same applies to this one really. You know, it's not really pretty when it's very strong crosswinds. So anyway, we'll have a go, and if we can get some strong winds, if anybody can find an airport with really strong winds or crosswinds, obviously we can blast over there. I should have about till 3 o'clock. That's about 4 hours today. So I'm just going to crack on with this effectively. It's a quick Heathrow to Milan, Linate to Heathrow. It doesn't really matter about any of this. I'm not going to worry too much about the flight or anything else. It's all kind of irrelevant. The other thing, that's the other good thing that they've done on the version 2 is 180 seats now, which is a bit more sort of low cost carrier. I think the design is, or the plan is, that's in the next version you will be able to what's the word? Choose whether you want 180 or 162 seats, depend on the config. At the minute it's just 180. You know, I wouldn't be a professional pilot if I didn't always have something to whinge about, but you know, it'd be nice if there was just another extra row of seats to 186, just make it a bit more in line with low cost carriers. But yeah, there we go. It's me just having a small whinge. The other thing I noticed as well, you can just about see it. Again, this is very trivial. This is no real this is not a sort of go at Fenix or anything, but some airlines or some aircraft, certainly some aircraft I fly with, their maximum takeoff weight is 75.5 tons. Now that depends on the airline and the aircraft, of course, and if you look at this one, I think I generated this aircraft this morning and I just copied it from another one, so I put it down as a 75.5 ton of max takeoff weight aircraft, and obviously zero fuel weight and 66 tons max landing weight as well. What they don't do here, and again this is not really a criticism, is if you look at the envelope it sort of still implies the max takeoff weight is 73.5 tons and blah 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 blah, which in reality they can be slightly different. But I'm not really going to pay too much attention to that. That's fine, we can deal with that. It's only small aesthetic things. Anyway, what are we doing? Again, I'm just going to rabble through this and get through it as quickly as we can because there's no real rush. Where are we? So yeah, Linate to Heathrow. What is the flight time? About an hour and 40. That's not too bad. It gives us a bit of time. Don't really care about that. That's all fine. That's all fine. That's fine. Get another 3 tons of fuel on. Probably won't need that much. Obviously, I've done this today because Heathrow is origami. Inibuilds, Heathrow scenery is the latest one, I think. I don't know. And I've got the London City Orbx pack as well, which so maybe a little bit hungry on the frame rates. We'll see how it does. ever since I changed my hard drive to an SSD, things have improved dramatically, so hopefully this will be fine as well, even though the graphics card isn't the best in the world. So 6.5 tons or 6.6 rounded up. I think the weather's generally okay. It's fine looking out my window. It's southwesterlies, yeah. A few rain showers, okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll deal with that. It's fine. Gatwick's probably okay as well. No real winds. Not really any winds. A little bit of a southerly winds there. Give us something to think about. To practice, just see how it handles in relatively light winds. Rainy and drizzle across the UK, nothing really particularly brilliant. Lovely in Cavoke in Linate as well, across the high terrain and then all the way up to the UK. Now on the Sigmet, snow tams, probably something in there. War and peace for Italy as it usually is. Cranes, something doesn't work, there we go. It's half of Italy really, isn't it? Don't care. Some seed. Yeah. Again, don't really care too much. What I haven't done is I haven't followed my flight plan. I almost forgot. Let's just do that before I forget. Yeah, sign in. Yeah, whatever. Allow. That would do. Yeah. Bingo. Right, in. Right, that's in. Good. Heathrow, again, don't really care too much. Again, this isn't really real world ops. This sort of, but sort of isn't. I'm not going to be paying too much attention to all of this. That's fine. Right, let's get boarding.
Boarding requested.
What's the plan? 6.5. Just in case it's VATS, and there's usually numpties online, isn't there? Let's put another ton on. That'll do. I have to wait tonight, I think, to do this.
Do you want to board crew?
No. I'm already here.
Passengers boarding starting.
That's done. What is it? Oh, no, not that one. ITY. 1544, I think it was. Right, I've got to wait for GSX to do a thing, then we can blast through this. Obviously, we don't have the these RCFMs don't have the IAE engines yet. That's, I think, in the next release. I can't remember. Do I have to pay for that one, potentially? I don't know. Can't remember. But I think it's another 40 quid for the 319 and 321, which I can't wait for the 321. That's going to be awesome when that comes out. I'm guessing that's going to be the old CEO 320 as well, which is great, because the old 320 CEO is so much easier to fly than the Neo. The Neo is a piece of shite. GSX plus. Oh, possibly. Dan, yeah, potentially. That requires me to go in and change things, which I can't be bothered. Right, I'm going to cheat with a QNH. Boom. What is it? 1022. Done. No, engine update is free. Cool. Well, the engine update is free. I think that's got sharpless as well. So that's all going to be very, very, very nice. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, the IAEs. Not that there's not really a huge amount of difference with the IAEs. The only main difference you've got is obviously the thrust is all commanded by EPA, which is engine pressure ratio, which is just the ratio of pressure between the front and the back, I think, or the back and the front, whatever way it is, I can't quite remember. So everything's done by EPA, and then you got like EPA, N1, EGT, N2, blah, 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 blah. So there's like an extra gauge up here, which is fine, which you get used to. You have to set the EPA to a certain value. Where we got to set N1 to 50% on takeoff. When you've got an EPA or IAE engine, you have to set it to 1.05, I think. Yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah, you set it to 1.05. That's the equivalent of 50%, and then you go to sort of flex or take, whatever it is. How many people are going to go 1.5? God, if I have a pound for every time somebody does that, I'll probably be a millionaire. So yeah, it's 1.05, not 1.5 when you do that. And then you've got N1 mode switches up here, and I shall try and discuss that when it comes out. But basically, that's what does that do? That's downgrades the FADEX. If you have a problem with the engine pressure ratio for whatever, the FADEX can't really control the thrust. It's all a bit sort of it's all a bit squiggly puff and all over the place. So you downgrade the FADEX to an N1 mode, so then the FADEX control the thrust using N1, and you press a button over here, and it's I can't quite remember. There's a D-rated and rated. I can't quite remember what it is. But you press them. But the gotcha with that is if one of them buggers up and it doesn't like the EPA mode, whatever, you've got to downgrade the other one. Otherwise, one engine's controlling thrust via EPA and the other's controlling the N1. It all sort of bit of asymmetric thrust goes over the place. So if you get one downgrade, you then have to downgrade the other, even if the other one's fine. But I shall discuss that when it comes out. It's been a long time since I've done them. Right, have we got fuel yet? Probably not. Can I just board? It's not board passengers, I suppose. Ah, there we go. Instant. Done. Good. Right, that's done. GSX can do its thing. Right, I'll tell you what, let's just easy get that flight plan up here. There we go. And I can just, rather than going all over the place, cost index 4 probably, I don't know, something like that. IRS here, they do. Again, not going to worry too much about this. Is it? I bet it's warmer than 14 degrees. I had something in my eye yesterday. I feel like my eyesight has gone a little bit blurry. It's not too bad today, but yeah, it definitely wasn't in sort of greatest health yesterday. What is it? 27 degrees. Yeah, I don't think it's 14. Apologies if I don't see anything in the chat at the minute. I'm kind of just doing this. 32,000 feet. I thought it'd be a bit higher than that. We can probably go a lot higher than that. 32,000 minus 41. Done. 03860.8 slash 30 usual. Get the load sheet in a second. What's the fuel to? Let's go about a ton to Gatwick. I think that's it. What does it say for fuel? About 6.5. That's what we want. 4 tons trip. 4.3 a little bit more than the flight plan. So yeah, just ever so slightly above max landing weight there. That's fine. We're going to put 7.6. That gives us a little bit of extra. There we go, an extra 30 minutes of fuel, which is grand. Don't forget your flat rings. Yeah. No model changes. That's the update. Yeah. You bloody flat rings, honestly. I'll tell you what, if that ever comes into a training syllabus, I'm going to slap the manager that ever suggests that. Performance of combat to. That's done. Secondary. I don't really care. I'm not going to do engine out stuff. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Let's have a quick look at the panel. Not the panel, the sim settings. So this aircraft's quite old, actually. I think. What is it? It's about 15 years old. No, it's not that old. It's probably has one of them. Probably has an ISIS. It probably hasn't got that. It's probably got that. It's got that. It's probably got that. It probably doesn't have ice detection. That's probably 1,000. Brake fans. It's probably got cabin controls. Rad outs. Let's just keep these sort of pretty standard, which is more or less normal. Obviously, these are all sort of customizable by airlines usually. Right. Apparently, the displays have changed a little bit. They look a little bit different. That speed select red seems very large. Don't quite remember it being that big. There we go. Whatever. Right. Departure. Let's have a quick look at the departure. So apparently, its flight plan's got off 1.8, I think. But I mean, the wind's so light, you could actually get away with. You could get away with going off 3.6, which is probably slightly better for where we go. Charts. I need to find a chart now. It's Italy, so it's always a bit weird. Oh, there we go. Pepig. Pepig 1 Juliet. That's when Lynn is unserviceable. Pepig 1 Alpha. Again, doesn't really matter. Oh, so many departures for just one runway. That'll do. I don't care. Departure. Boarding complete. Oh, awesome. 3.6. Pepig. What did I say? 1 Juliet. You'll do. What's the stop attitude? We've got stop attitude. Nah, don't care. And it is 27s, I think, probably 27 left or right. Is flight plan. Aleso. Right, I'm going to go the transition just because it tidies it all up. 577 miles, that's probably good enough. Rad navs, don't care about that, don't care about that. Performance will come back to, that's done. Let's have a look at the performance. So, oh good, the aircraft's all done. Mass and balance, done, not ground services. Yeah, we can disconnect that. Performance, that's what I want. Do we have any ATC? No. That's probably a good thing. Let's go 3.6. Dry. Let's go 1. Let's go packs on, shall we? Makes a change. On. Do you have a load sheet? That one. Can't remember. I'm pressing. AOC. Received. Oh yeah, there's 2 load sheets. Good. Accept you. That's the prelim. That's the other thing which I think would have been quite nice. Do they do it? No, they don't. So they've just got passengers 180. There's the bay splits. Bay splits 60, 60, 60. Have they got anything? No. So this is something else which I was going to mention. Don't think. Yeah. I don't know how easy it is for Phoenix to do this, probably not very easy, but obviously we load the aircraft up on 180 passengers, we sort of select that either in SimBrief, which just gives us a rough figure when we load things up, the weight and balance. It does go 180, but you've got a passenger list, and I don't think, ignoring the status and whether it's a special assistance or whatever, it doesn't seem to say if it's a male or a female. Obviously some of it's quite obvious if your name's, you know, I don't know, that's right, Christy, you're probably a female. But yeah, what would be quite nice if they just generated the final load sheet and they actually randomised the amount of males and females and children, which would then obviously affect the sort of payload effect. That would be quite nice if they did that. Probably quite a lot to ask, but it would change your zero fuel weights and various other things, and just make it ever so slightly different from your preliminary load sheet, which is fine. So, which one do I want? That one. That one I want. Yeah, so zero fuel weights is that the last one? I think that's, yeah, it's the final one. 60.8. That's what we got. I'm rambling on. 31.5. That's it, got 7.6 tons. Trim is 29.6 bar. Looks like that'll do. It's about 30%. Good. Done. Performance. Let's have a quick look at you. Ooh, ooh. Apparently minus 30 on pitch and roll. Okay. Is that in the MacDo settings? Because you can change things in here, can't you? Is it controls? Is that this bit, or is that in the actual control settings? Don't know. Like I said, I think I've got my linear. If anybody needs to see the control setup at the end of this, obviously I can let you know and show you what it is. Let's just sync that. It's easier. Let's sync that. That's fine. Good. Let's go full length. 137, 146, 146. Wonder if the click spots have got any better. I bet they haven't. Thrust acceleration, we can keep that the same. Flaps 1 and 55 degrees. Somebody said you lost your. Oh yeah, I do. Lost my camera. Lost my wing views. Bugger. Never mind. I'll have to update that. Yeah, the control settings. Okay. Well, I'll have a look. I'll have a play on the takeoff and see how it goes. And if I think it's a bit twitchy or something, we can obviously have a look at it. Anyway, I think all that's done. That's done. They're done. Fueling's done. That's all good. I think I'm ready to go. 6,000 again. I don't really care too much about this. This isn't. I'm not going to be doing checklists or anything like that. That's all fine. Guard for what it's worth. Ew. There we go. That should be on Unicom, shouldn't it? Try and at least do that properly. Does that work? Oh, yeah, it does work. Right, I think that's ready. I think that's done. That's done. That's looking good. Flight plans in. Right, shall we go? Got work. I know it's Chris. So I won't be going far. Need analysis, yeah. Right, let's get you sorted. Do you? No, I don't. Sounds a bit quieter in here. I don't know what it is.
Ciao, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
It's too quiet. Normally, when you've got the blowers on, it's deafening in here. You've got all the air coming out the vents. I have to close all of these usually on the real aircraft. One there, one there. There's 4 in total. One up here, one there, and then there's one down on your legs as well, down there. Yeah, it's usually really bloody noisy, so I always have to turn them down. But it's decidedly quiet, which is quite disconcerting. The real aircraft isn't this quiet. It's usually a lot more noisy than this. Hence why you need decent headsets. Right, let's get the beacon on. I assume that's done. Am I on? Good, yeah. Linate traffic. ETA 1544 is pushing back from stand 2. Linate. Let's go tail right, I think. Oh no, it's tail left. I vaguely remember. Well, that's the other thing as well, is it? Navigraph. I vaguely remember. Where is the ground chart? Is that? Isn't the ground chart supposed to be in this one? If I find it, yeah, that one. No. Yeah. Well, that's quite good. Yeah, I vaguely remember you sort of got to go around anti, clockwise and clockwise. So be pushing back, then go around delta, and then that way, and then all the way down to the end. So where is? We'll do my love. There you go. Done. So yeah, is there not supposed to be? Is there not supposed to be a map, like a better one? I don't know. Which one do you have, Bose? What have I got down? I've got the Pro Flight. Just because it's pretty good for multi-crew environment. It's not as big and clampy as the A20s. The A30s come out. In fact, I think we just had an email from work about that, about a discount. Did we? Where is it? Yeah, off on Pro, so A320s. Oh, so yeah, we have a discount, which is quite nice. Airline discount. Anyway, let's start these bad boys up. So that's on. I think all that's done. That's done. I've had to recalibrate the thrust levers as well. That's something else you've got to do. It's not really a particular problem right starting one. But obviously you've got to do that. Eh? Where the fuck have you pushed me? You've pushed me back on the road, you donut. Honestly, you can't get the bloody stuff. Someone needs sacking. I think the GSX profile needs update on that one. That is atrocious. Right, well, I'll tell you what, let's just bugger off.
Cockpit to ground.
Yeah.
We have a good
right,
engine
go.
to start. You can disconnect.
In fact, are both engines started? Oh, both. Are the engines started? They kind of look. They don't look like they've started. Okay, first technical problem.
Tow track disconnected. Bypass fuel removed.
Oh, this is a good start.
Left is clear.
Right, let's try that
Right
again.
is clear.
What have I forgotten? Did I like something? Zoom in. Alright, I'll come back to that. This is looking a bit more promising. Apologies for the tapping. Somebody's going to be telling me in a minute. That's really annoying. That's better. Yeah, I don't quite know. It's probably user error, to be fair. That was probably me cocking something up rather than anything else. Right, start number 2. Come on. Come on, Fedex. What you doing? I could try single engine takeoff. Interesting. Why are you not starting? Come on, you got. Why is a high pressure valve not opening? I don't think I've. Yeah. The thing is, I don't know, because this is obviously working. Well, I mean, oh, there we go. That's a bit buggy. I mean, really, you only need to wait as soon as see where it goes grey backgrounds on the N2. As soon as that's no longer grey, it basically means this grey background means the Fedex are being powered. So as soon as the engine's started and the Fedex are no longer being powered, they're effectively being self-powered by the electrics of the engine. I can't quite remember exactly technically. But as soon as the black background has gone out, the grey background has gone out, you can then start the other engine. So it's not long, like seconds, really. So as soon as that's gone out, so if that had gone out, I could then technically start number 1. I mean, you want to wait for the generators to sort of kick in, I suppose, and give it a few seconds. But right, anyway, we're there. God, this thing's a bit old, isn't it? Right, you can go back. I don't quite know what's going on there, but maybe a tad buggy in something. Anyway, do you that? What's me scans? I'm trying to remember me scans. It's about 30%, wasn't it? That would do. Right, yeah. So what was it? Just root zoom in, was it? How do I get rid of all the data? Don't know where that's going. Aha. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Right, yes, we'll just go by Delta. Just go down here. Right. So that's the first little thing noted. You can go on. Don't think I need to do anything else. That's done. That's done. The engines have finally started. Finally. Don't think I've done anything else. Good. It's Linate traffic Eta 1544 is taxiing to runway 36 via Delta, I think it is, and then Zulu, and then Tango. Yeah, I think that was Milan, not Benza. It's not particularly heavy, so it shouldn't need a lot of thrust. No, there we go. So it's moving away quite nicely. That's pretty realistic. You don't generally need a lot of thrust to get going on the real aircraft. Certainly not when you're light, anyway. When you're heavy, you do. But I think I remember the old version. You did need a little bit of N1 just to sort of start shifting. Right, brakes are checked, they're still good. The one thing I will have a big whinge about, do that, yeah, is this button here, Phoenix. I keep saying it, and I'm sorry. I know you've done a fantastic job, but for fuck's sake, sort this button out. If there's one thing I can ask for, it's just make this work like it should do. I don't give a shit about people with twist stick joysticks or whatever it is. Whatever reason you've got it, put it back to how it should be, because it's driving me nuts. It does not work like this. You press that button, you hold it, it's spring loaded. It means you can do the rudders, so I can move my rudder pedals as much as I want and the aircraft doesn't go anywhere. And you've disabled it, so sort it out. Why you keep getting a white edge on the screens as well, I'm not too sure on that. Anyway, that's my first rant. You know, again, very much appreciate what Phoenix have done. They're very, very good. It's very much worth the value. It's value for money. But yeah, sort it out. What am I doing? Flight controls. Wait, it was all a bit laggy. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, maybe I need to do something about. Oh, that's really laggy. That was about 3 seconds after I actually moved. Right. Yeah, I might have to do that. There's a tick box, isn't there? You can synchronize the screens better. So I might have to do that because I've just gone out. Yeah, that was a little bit better. That's a little bit better. What's these sort of funny? Yeah, it's definitely a few things amiss. Shouldn't that work when you have different inputs in the controls and rudder and nose? I don't know. I don't know, Christian. But this does not work how it should do. So when you do a flight control check, when you do the rudder, obviously you want to disconnect the rudder from the nose wheel steering because you don't actually want to start steering anywhere. So if I do a rudder check and go full left, I actually turn left. If I do full right, I actually turn right. I don't want to be doing that. I want to stay on the centre line. So to do that, you press and hold that button. It's spring loaded. So you just put your palm on it, you smack it, and then you do the rudder. And then you can do it now because it don't work fucking properly. So then you do the rudder, and then the aircraft actually stays in a straight line. That's what you should be doing. I don't know what Phoenix are doing. I don't know why they've disabled it. I don't know what their reasoning is. There's something about hardware and other people that don't have rudder pedals or whatever their reasoning is. I know there is a reason, but it should not be like that. Anyway, I digress. That's on. That's on. That's on. Ooh, that's on. I think I've done everything else. Cabin. Cabin? Is that? Have I got to press something? Have I got to press something? Why is the cabin not ready? That's new. Cabin was usually ready pretty instantly, wasn't it? Yeah, then it's just steering. There is a bit of a hack due to. Thing is, Phoenix used to have that correct. It used to be in one of the very first. Oh, there you go. It's ready now. In the very first iteration of Phoenix, whatever it was. Shit spots are still shit. I'm trying to press the. Yeah, that's. Oh, and I'm going off the runway. Taxiway. Yeah, in the first version of the Phoenix, this worked like it should do, and then they fucking played around with it. Let's try not to clip the lampposts. Yeah, one's gone bust once already this year. I don't want to go bust again. Okay, I'm just taxiing slowly just because I'm rabbing on. I'll probably go a bit faster than 10 knots usually. Steering model looks pretty good though, and I must admit, I mean, even though it's Cavite, I've not really had any stutters or anything as of yet, which is quite nice. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, definitely seems a little bit laggy in the screens, which I think may be those settings that I need to adjust. Just I seem to be pressing things, and yeah, there's definitely lag. There's definitely lag in the screens compared to what's actually going on, which I might have to. I'd have to restart, I think. I guess. Well, we can cope with it. Just need to score when you're on VAT sim and unicorn getting ready to departure. What do you set your score to? Don't. Yeah, so if you got ATC online, they will assign you a squawk. If there's no ATC online, you go whatever. Generally around sort of Europe, and most of it's 1,000 nowadays. Oh yeah, it is laggy. It's very laggy. Something is laggy here. That's definitely noticing that. This could be quite interesting. Well, I might have to abandon this flight at some point because it just may not work at all. But yeah, squawks are usually assigned by ATC, and then if you're not, just squawk anything. It doesn't really matter because nobody's looking at you. Right, anyway, I've done all that. That's done. That's all looking good. That's all fine. What else is there to do? Not much else, don't think. Gonna leave the packs on. I think we're ready to go. Gotta say, cross swing work a lot better. No exaggerated wing drop. Good, yeah. So you always choose, well, it's 2000s. I mean, I've just put it 1000 because generally in Italian airspace, even now, you know, in real life in Italian airspace and German airspace, I think they often do just ask you to squawk 1000. I don't know why that is, because then everybody squawk 1000, but I'm guessing there's some sort of technology now where they don't actually need a squawk code to identify you on the radar. Again, I'm not an air traffic controller, I don't quite know that, but yeah, I wouldn't worry. Did you update the Fenix again? Yes, I've got the two. What is it? One in the. Did I put it in the description? Yeah, there we go. So version 2, which is actually 1.5.1.200 or whatever it is. So, but I know there's in the Fenix app when you boot it up and you put your details in, there's an option there, isn't there, to sync screens. I think I haven't ticked that because I thought I'd obviously give this a go to start with. Right, let's assume we're going. I suppose I should actually check. Well, that was a little bit better. I was able to flick those a bit better. I can't see anybody on the approach. No, that was I could see someone then. I thought, no, it's a bit of dust. Milan. No, there's no one around. Linate traffic, ETA 1544 is departing runway 36 on the northerly departure. Whatever it is, don't care. Nobody's listening, nobody cares. Yeah, a little bit better click spots, maybe. Right, anyway, approach is clear. Don't think there's anybody going that way, which is fine. It's all a little bit flickery. I don't know what's going on there. I'd say there's an easy way to resolve that flickering. Just get rid of the bloody thing. FO doesn't need it anyway. Right, I think we're done. That's all done. Right, should we go? Let's take off. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. I need to sort these screens out. Right, there we go, Manflex 55 SRS runway. Don't really need to put shoes on. Rudder pedals with just bare, like your socks, is not the easiest thing to control. Anyway, thrust is set. Wind's relatively calm. 100 knots. Staying on the centre line would be a good idea. B1 rotates. Bars decline, gears up. Well, that felt pretty normal on board, so there's AP1. That felt relatively normal rotation, but to be fair, the old version didn't actually feel that bad either. So I don't really have any complaints on that. I wouldn't say there's any feedback in terms of constructive. That was pretty much as I expect, but then the last one behaved pretty much as expected. But it's calm winds, so that's fine. Thrust climb, climb. That's, oh, now what? Oh, fuck off. Whatever. Didn't know there was an ECAM for that. There we go. Well, it's a nice view anyway. It's a lovely day to depart over the Alps. Noises seem okay, sounds are okay. Again, not really much different to what I was used to. I think there was something, they changed something on the sounds, I believe. But yeah, these screens are definitely a little bit jerky. Alright, let's roll our speeds. Flap 0, speed check, flap 0. That's done. That's disarmed. Gear is up. Lights don't need. And let's go all the way up to, what was it, 32,000. Alright, let's go up. Let's open climb, so that's standard. Yeah, laggy. Laggy, very laggy. Flight level 320 is blue. Yeah, so the screens are still laggy. That's my first big. I love the buzzsaw. Buzzsaw. I heard somebody say about this. What airline are we flying? ITA. E-I-D-T-E. It's a real reg. Yeah, I believe it is. I believe this is the real reg of an aircraft. I looked at it, looked it up, googled it. So yeah, it is a real thing. It's an Airbus. What's he barking at? Oh, fuck's sake. What was I saying? Lost my trail of thought. Yeah, so real big notice so far is the screens. Everything seems really laggy after pressing anything, which I think I might be able to sort out if you use that tick box potentially. Yeah, I don't yeah, buzzsaw. Never really heard anything referred to as buzzsaw before, not for the engines. They just make a noise. I mean, the views aren't too bad. I mean, it's not too laggy scrolling around. You know, and even got the cabin modelled as well. You know, there's a couple of circuit breakers. I think they still need to just source out. You can pull many circuit breakers. Some you can pull. You know, DC-DU. That would. So that would pull that one. That's not going to work now. But you plug it back in. It should work. There we go. Sprung back to life. Will do. There we go. But some things, MMR2, that's GPS2 basically, so that still doesn't work. So I'm surprised they don't have that thing quite modelled yet. Radar altimeter, pull that. DME, yeah. So lots of these you can pull. But I'm surprised they haven't got maybe just work on a couple of the other ones. You know, things like MMR2, that's quite a popular one. That gets reset quite a lot. It'd be nice if they'd modelled that one a bit more. They seem to model a lot of things that you never really touch, but they don't seem to model the things that you do touch more often. But there we go. Is what it is. Right, it's 10,000 feet. Let's go on there. They can go on there as well. Progress 32. Yeah, 34 we can go up to. Radnavs, they're fine. Performance. Yeah, come on, I pressed you. Oh, yeah. Right. Just a. I always heard the buzz sound. Maybe it's just changed the sound channel. Fuel burn is still off. How's the pup getting on? Still going after the. No, I think he's learning to. Postie's not so bad anymore. I think we changed posties as well, so he's not quite so scared of him. Right, you can go off. That would. I wonder if they got Captain Purser. Probably one of the two. Don't know. I think we were Captain Purser on the last airline. Leave it as it is. Right, let's have a quick look at the changelog then. So that's what have they done. Let's read this through. So the app remove legacy display, blah 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 blah. So added checkbox to enable display synchronization. Yeah, I think I need to do that. Added checkbox to enable legacy display selection CPU. Maybe I need to check that as well. Maybe I need to do that. CFB fixed weight and balance discrepancies. Now I don't remember there being any discrepancies, personally. I mean there must have been, but how do I get out of that? Yeah, I don't really remember what the discrepancies were. They're always pretty close. And something that was certainly worth addressing, I suppose. Depends on your sim brief profile. So I think the weights in the Fenix for the passengers, I can't remember what it is, but they've got a passenger weight and a baggage weight. I have my aircraft set up for 80 kilograms per passenger and 13 kilograms per bag. But that's not too bad. That pretty much gives me a flight plan which is more or less consistent with what the actual zero fuel weights and payload weight's going to be in the EFB and the load sheet and everything else in the Fenix. So that's not too bad. What would be nice, like I said, was if the Fenix had somehow developed their load sheet to go, right, you said you're expecting 180 passengers. So your flight plan is going to be, let's have a quick look at that. So our flight plan based on 180 passengers is 16 tons, 740 kilos. And then if they developed a load sheet which actually said, right, now you've got, I don't know, 60 males, 60 females and 60 kids. Well, I don't know what should that be actually. Let's have a quick look. Let's use a calculator. 60 times, how much is a male? I think it's 93 kilos. Plus 60 times 75, I think is a woman. Plus 60 times 35 is a kid. So yeah, there we go. So if we had 60 males, 60 females and 60 kids, it would actually be 12 tons payload. So it'd be nice if they just generated a, I don't know, sort of a randomised sort of passenger loadout of males, females and kids. And then that would obviously lower, potentially give you a nice big LMC to work with. So that would be quite useful. And equally, they could go the other way. So they could go, well, there you go, you've got 120 males and, I don't know, 60 odd females or something, and maybe a bit more than what you're expected. So that'd be quite nice. Have you set your turbulence to low? That's what I'm going to do. No, I've set it to realistic. Icing's always been on, Christian, to be fair. I've always left it on. I've never really had too many problems. Only had problems once, I think. But yeah, turbulence I've got on realistic, but that seems to be okay. Again, this is the first time I'm testing it, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that. I mean, it's a nice calm day today, so I don't think that's too much of an issue. As it is. Fuel burn is high. My list of things that normally bad. Barry, do you mean fuel burn is high in respect of you think the fuel burn is too high, or do you just is your sim brief aircraft profile not married up and doesn't have an appropriate fuel burn performance factor, whatever it's called? Because I don't think the fuel burn is actually that wrong. I mean, this is 2.5 tons. This is actually probably it's probably about right. You're looking about 3 tons a bit, 3 tons per hour lowered down, 20,000 feet. Yeah, maybe 2.5. This is a pretty accurate fuel flow from what I remember. I'd actually expect that probably to be maybe a little bit higher, but that's not too bad for a fuel figure. And then top of climb, cruise, we're looking at probably anywhere in between about 1,500, maybe really low, heavyweights low down. To you can get it down to sharklets, especially you can get it down to a ton. But 1,200 kilograms per engine per hour in the cruise is a realistic fuel burn, and I don't think that's inaccurate. I think so long as your sim brief profile is calibrated is the right word to sort of mirror that, you should be okay. Anyway, lovely view of the Alps. Not that I'm spending much time looking at them. So when I moved into the place, I got an official plate for posting, posted scarefest figures. Yeah, mine, to be fair, mine doesn't go for the postie, it's just barks. Anyway, I'm digressing. Sorry, I'm missing probably questions, but I'm going through things. So where are we? So yeah, weight and balance discrepancy. Don't know. Updated layouts, 108 passengers. Yeah, that's really nice. I like that because that's going to be really nice if you start doing, especially for Gab, if he starts doing longer flights. That are sort of 4+ hours, 180 passengers. It makes your fuel plan a little bit more interesting because you start getting close to the maximum amount of fuel you can get on board. Updated FB to support Navi maps, yeah, where we've seen that, and that's fine. Removed loading bar from map and charts to facilitate okay. Yo, bit of a lump. Possibly, yeah, okay, it was maybe a bit quicker, that's fine. Handle that. What else have we got? So displays, complete rewrite and redrawing of PFD encompassing fonts, colours, element size and positioning, blah 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 blah. And the same thing with all the others. So all of these have been redone. Complete rewrite and redrawing of the clock display. Really? Yeah, well, it looks like the clock on the real aircraft, and then so did the last one. So, you know, they've tweaked it. So, yeah, okay, fair enough. Increased brightness of all displays for better visibility. Yeah, I think I did notice that, actually. I think that the brightness did seem a little bit better. And, yeah, so I prefer that. The darkness seems better now as well. Ooh. Yeah, oh, come on. So, go on. Yeah, this does seem a little bit... Go back to normal. So the darkness seems a bit better. And of course, during at nights, this is going to be a lot better now. It's going to be a lot darker. But what seems to be nice is all of the colours seem to have got darker. And I vaguely remember on the old one, you know, when you dimmed the screen brightness, things like the green FD bars, they were still really, really bright. So it wasn't consistent darkening. Is that the right word? Darkening of the entire colours on all the screens, but that actually looks a lot more consistent. It's darkening everything now, which I keep bloody doing that the wrong way. Which is more consistent with the real aircraft as well. So, you know, at night time, any nighttime flights, this will probably actually help us out quite a bit in terms of that. Displays, again, can't really remember too many issues. Apparently, they've made it a bit more better, closer to the real aircraft. Yeah, probably. But the last one was good enough. I mean, I didn't really care too much about the bloody fonts or whatever it was in the last one, because it wasn't really about that. It was about the actual product and what the product can do, which was obviously very, very good things. What's your stick sensitivity, Major? Major, if you hang on, what I'll probably do is at the very end of this stream, I've got another 3 hours or so to do this. So at the very end, I will try and get my sensitivities up for the side stick, which is, I think, just linear. There might be a tiny little bit dead zone. It is very, very straightforward. There's nothing too complicated. But obviously, I'm testing that to make sure it's still okay. Somebody suggest it to, you know, minus 30% or something, but I don't know. I haven't tested that one yet. So we shall see. Minus fuel is best in Simbrief. Yeah, I think that's what I've got it on. -5, yeah, that's what I've got, which I think the Simbrief fuel plan then sort of, it does mirror the fuel burn of the actual aircraft in the sim reasonably well, and that obviously marries or mirrors the real world aircraft reasonably well. Now I can't make an exact comparison to the real world aircraft, because I'm not doing this at the same time I'm flying a real world aircraft. I mean, I could go and fly a real world aircraft, and, you know, go and find one that doesn't have sharklets, and then, you know, make a mental note of the fuel burn and the fuel exactly. But then, you know, the problem is if I then replicate that on the sim, the winds are different in the sim to what I had in the real flight maybe the day before. So it's really hard for me to compare like for like, because the conditions are going to be different. You know, I can do a rough comparison, but yeah, I think this is close enough. I think Phoenix done a pretty good job, to be fair. Minus 30 was much better. Okay. Yeah, we'll have a look. We'll have a look, Major, because I'm sure I can do a landing and then I can go off and do something else somewhere else again. What's that down? 75 by Y something. Font style readability. Helps the readability. Does it? Yeah, probably. Again, it was fine in the last one, I thought, but I'm just nitpicking on those things. Where is it? Displays, rewrote. Okay, yeah, it's done something to make fast. That's fine. Flight management, flyby one, auto flight. Rudder authority retunes system side to prevent consistent behaviour. Okay, yeah, well, I mean, I have rudders, so that's very much a feel thing. Fixed a bug with Elon ground to normal blending law, now correctly blending in at 0.5 seconds per the real aircraft. Again, don't really know what that means, but essentially I think that just means it's going to be flying a little bit better, certainly in the flare. I'm just going to have I need a paranoia check. I'm actually going at the right flight level, aren't I? Where am I? Hot fouled somewhere. Yeah, bugger off. Cruising tables. No, wrong one. Evens, yeah. Yeah, that direction. Very good. If I start shouting at people flying at the wrong flight level, the wrong direction, it's actually me. Retuned aileron response times, do you remember? Okay, yeah, retuned by redefined fly-by-wire implementation regarding yaw and roll relationship aircraft should now be more appropriately compensate for roll movements and just right again. This sort of flight model type things. Ground friction. Fixed a bug with a fly-by-wire inhibiting aileron orders being sent when the aircraft was in flare mode. Oh, that's interesting. So were the ailerons not working at all when it was in flare mode? I think that's Mac Cruise. I mean, yeah. I mean, generally you only do auto lands when it's really calm anyway, and it's foggy, so you don't really need a lot of aileron. But yeah, interesting that if it may decrabbed a little bit and then the aircraft rolled a bit, maybe in the flare on auto lands, potentially. So we go. Well, we got 1500. Yeah, so I mean that's a pretty consistent fuel. Oh no, it's just gone from 1500 to 1000. Well, obviously the thrust is going up and down, but somewhere between 1000 and 1500 is probably reasonably normal. There's Elmore, another 10 minutes. I'll have a quick look at the fuel just to make sure. What was that? So Elmore, where are we? About 25 minutes in. Yeah, I think this has got for 1818, so that's why we're a bit faster. So fuel's going to be a bit more, about another ton, wasn't it? So another ton on that, should be about 5.3. 5.4. Yeah, so it's about 5.4. That would have been off runway 18, and we've gone off runway 36. That's probably saved 400 kilograms. So that is about right for the fuel. I know he's barking at something else. Where are we? Rework spoiler deployment to lift. No, to dump lift faster, ensure the aircraft settles quickly. That'd be an interesting one. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Rewritten control surface parameters. I don't know. It's probably nothing that we see. This is all sort of back office stuff, isn't it? Fine. Just make sure there's no ATC. Nobody's trying to contact me. Think so. Oh, there we go. We got Linate grounds or something. Yeah. Oh well, missed them. Never mind. Rewritten control surface parameters, adjusted gyro and other stability factors in the flight model. Externalized elevator dynamics into a system. I mean, again, I don't think there's anything aesthetic that we see. Don't know what they've done. It's all coding stuff, isn't it? I believe. Whereas implementation proprietary service deflection, adjusted aileron handling properties, okay, adjusted aircraft inertia. Somebody said that yesterday. Was it V1 simulations? He said something yesterday when he was lining up on a runway. Said he released the tiller and the aircraft still turned a little bit, and he said, you know, he went oh. He almost like felt it was quite normal, which of course it does. You know, you release the tiller and the nozzle hasn't, you know, aligned perfectly with the centerline. It takes, you know, a second or so for the two wheels to then sort of straighten up, and so you still get a little bit of inertia even though you've relaxed the pressure on the tiller. So it still has a bit of inertia in that turn, so you sort of just, you know, you can sort of anticipate that. So yeah, that's quite good. I think that's, again, I didn't really notice anything wrong in the last one. Apologies, I'm not really seeing any comments at the minute. Sorry if you're asking questions. I'm going through all these changes. Adjusted elevator effectiveness to achieve desired pitch rate and direct law. That'd be interesting. Give you a direct law landing. That'd be fun. Adjusted roll rates. Okay, yeah. Roll rate is different. Everything direct law is more of a side stick. Direct sort of relationship between the side stick and the control surfaces. So. It's basically Cessna mode. So the roll rate, if I remember correctly, the roll rate in direct law is twice as much as what it is in normal law or alternate law. And I can't remember what it is in normal law. Is it a couple of degrees a second, whatever? But it's, you know, basically the thing is twitchy as fuck when it's direct law. So you've got to be really careful. Rewrote fly by wire entirely. Yeah, I don't know what any of this means. I'm trying to read things here that actually kind of makes sense to me. Fix the trimmable horizontal stabilizer movement being inhibited while stick input is detected. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's probably, I guess that is how it works. Again, I can't quite remember. If you move the stick, it probably doesn't actually change the stab. I suppose it really depends on the law and if the stab's been inhibited for whatever reason, but yeah, possibly might be a real world thing. Again, nothing really that we sort of look at in the real world aircraft. It's all done by the computers. We don't play with Just the elevator limits in line with specific limitations on the real aircraft. I'm guessing maybe that's a deflection, potentially. Retune the fly-by-wire pitch access for the change in elevator. Less, something the aileron as well. So, generalized autopilot's PID. I don't know what that is. Retuned automatic more response, better behavior in act capture mode. Okay. Something else. Retuned auto thrust for better response and accuracy. No, maybe. Again, didn't really notice anything wrong with the last one, but maybe improved it a bit. Correct fly-by-wire load factor limits per system spec. Okay. Does that mean in a config? Because in a config you've got, in clean configuration it's plus 2.5 degrees minus 1 G. And then if you've got any configuration with any sort of flats or slaps out, it then changes to a maximum 0 G, negative, well, it's 0 G, you're going to go negative, a max of 2 G. So whether that's been done, I don't know, I haven't really noticed or played with that. Where I've lost me thingy. Corrected direct law elevator limits result in a slight increase in nose weights when rotating. Why would you ever rotate in direct law? The shit really is at the fan if you go under direct laws you start rotating, but there we go. Okay, what have they done? Return right, fly-by-wire roll compensation. Retune flare mode properties. Okay, that'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to test out Autoland. Again, I don't remember the Autoland being that bad, but we'll try it out. Fixed oscillation during substantial pitch manoeuvres. Okay. Don't really do them substantial pitch manoeuvres, but I don't really fly it like that way. Fixed oscillations during 2 times swim speed. Okay, yeah, well, that again is not something which we obviously do in real life, but something affects the sim. Adjusted flare, ground, flight control, unlatch logic and properties, whatever that means. Adjusted trim horizontal stabilizer, zero logic post touchdown to incorporate correct activation gates. Oh, okay, this might be interesting. I've never really watched this in the sim, and you know I don't really watch it in the real aircraft either, to be fair, because I'm not really concentrating on this. But when you touch down, for those of you that don't know, when you touch down in the real aircraft, your trim is, I mean, it's quite nose up at the minute. Interesting. Yeah, that seems quite high for the stage of flight, but yeah, wherever this would be set to, say it's like, say and landing, it's 1 unit up here on approach. When you touch down, the main wheels touch down, the trim resets to 0, and it's part of your walk around checks, or it should be anyway. So when you do your walk arounds, is that scale? Yes. I wonder if I can get. Let me just see if I can get a better view. No. Aha, there we go. It's better. That's what I need. Oop. Yeah. Yes. Turning down a little bit. Right. There we go. Oh, you twat. Wrong button. This take forever now. Right, yeah, so when you touch down, the trimmable horizontal stabilizer, there's not a line there, but there'll be a line on the elevator, the stab here. When you touch down, it should reset to 0. So as part of your walk around checks, you want to make sure that it has actually reset to 0. If your stab, for any odd reason, is anything other than 0, there's probably quite a serious problem. So you wouldn't be going anywhere, you'd be getting the engineers in. But yeah, apparently, let's go back in there we go. So apparently, according to this, logic post touchdown to incorporate, yeah, so I don't know. So maybe this is going back to 0 like it should do, and maybe it didn't. I don't know. Again, I don't remember staring at it in the sim, to be honest. Just the trim entries in raw flight mode, better accuracy, post rotation, okay, fair enough. Improved autopilot rudder use for single engine flight. Okay, so yes, we know the engine model is still not good in single. Well, I mean, I've done a single engine takeoff in this. You know, I've done an engine failure. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, somebody were very critical. I think I tried it again and it wasn't brilliant. So I think there's a lot of critics here that the single engine flight model isn't good. I've tried it and I don't think it's particularly bad. but then some people, you know, I'm sort of in the middle. Some people have said it's shit, some people said it's good. I'm sort of like, well, it's okay, it's probably not brilliant, but you know, it's probably good enough. Avionics and systems, synced systems and MSI. Okay, fair enough. Swapped old nasty terrain out for new shiny peak mode. Oh, okay, I've just gone over the whole terrain. But that's better though. That's better because you can actually see the terrain like you should do. I mean, depending on the box, some of the older kit just basically censored any terrain. As long as you're above it, it didn't really sort of show you. It's only when you sort of lower down it started painting things. But the most modern kits, they do actually show all the terrain, which is really good. And if you turn that off, it's, yeah, there we go. So you can just about see the coastline as well for the channel. So it shows you where you are over the sea as well. So that's a lot better. So that's quite nice. You can actually visually see now where you are in the terrain. So that's really good. Fixed crashing calculation of alternate fuel. Did it do that? Let's try something. Fuel again. So I'm not answering any questions or chats. I'm running through this relatively quickly. So no, it's not. Still blank. So yeah, there's still some problem here. This should have a fuel figure and time. This is just because there's no routes. This is sort of as the crow flies. So it'd be like 10 minutes later or whatever, and probably say about, I don't know, 400 or 500 kilograms or whatever. If you put, let's have Posh Houses Edinburgh up there. If we had that in, so if we had a direct line, that would say, right, it would take, well, it takes so much fuel, this much time, and you could also put a flight plan in as well. Departure 27 left. What way's north? I can't remember. No Sid, doesn't matter. You could actually build a flight plan up quite nicely in the alternate. Let's go 06. Pole Hill, that'll do. Oh, no, not that one. Yeah. No. Yeah. GSX has crashed for whatever reason. Don't care. So yeah, you could have an alternate flight plan in, and then it would give you your alternate flight plan fuel and time. But Phoenix still don't have that. It's obviously still work in progress. They've got to do on that. Why didn't it come up? So yeah, that's something that needs to be done. Fixed MACD lateral vision page crash. Again, I don't really remember having any of these. Fixed Spirit Ecam faults on RS not aligned. Don't remember that. Added IRI not aligned Ecam. Okay, yeah, that's normal. Fixed issue of Ecam advisories would not call the associated page because other advisories are still active. Oh, okay. Yes. So there is the flight warning computer logic sort of thinks if you have a failure. Let's start one. Should have done a longer flight really, shouldn't I? ELEC. Alright, there we go. Let's just have, I don't know, DC bus 1. There you go, that'll do. There you go. Oh, interesting. That was interesting. Yeah, so when you get a master caution, obviously the system SD page should come up with the problem in question. And as you said, DC bus 1 fault areas come up in amber, so you can obviously see it's not working, and then this would automatically pop up. Apparently that didn't happen if you had a different page up. So hopefully you'll come back to normal. There we go, you come back. Let's see again. Bleed. Yeah, so that seems to be working. Good. So that's nice. There is some sort of logic, I think, where, you know, sometimes system SD pages are hidden, if I remember. Not so much of an activation of a master warning or caution, but you know, they can be hidden behind other failures because they're sort of secondary failures. So that seems to be good. Added blinking cam message. Okay, fixed, swapped left and centre gear. Don't know. Fixed LNAV center fix legs flying too far. Yeah. I mean, there's lots here, isn't it? Modified emergency exit signs to use LGCIU signal 1 and 2 to fix signs auto modes. Don't know. Whatever. Yeah. It's not something I really want. Fixed issue of alternate. Yeah. So it's not. It's not though, is it? It's still not there. There should this field should be filled in. There should be a value there, as should it be there. Added clamp something, fixed cam advisories, Fix PPOS on an empty flight plan. Trying to just read through these things to see if there's anything that I notice in ours. Make sure climb descent prompt appears when altitude constraint enters directly in flight. Okay, yeah. Fixed decam cruise engine data not showing advisories for vibration. See, that was interesting. I did get a failure and then it came up with some random massive number here for the oil quantity, which was obviously a bit weird. But there we go, the fuel figures again, so about 1200 kilograms an hour per engine, that's about right. Adjusted parking brake pressure, okay. Again, don't really remember it being wrong. Added start valve not closed, decam procedure, okay. Proof conditions. Fixed landing gear, not down ECAM message during go around of MCT thrust. I can't really remember what that is in relation to. That's spoiler panel control on the grounds. Fixed alpha floor engaging only at alpha max. Okay, again, I've not really tested that, but yeah, alpha floor should engage when you get to alpha max, if I remember correctly. Fixed FADEC fault displays. Added lavatory smoke failure. Oh, that's quite cool. That's a good one. Oh yeah, we love that as crew. Tell you what, we're sitting there. Let's see if we can generate that. I've showed a passenger that once who was suspected of smoking in the toilet, and I had a quick word with him and basically said, do you have any idea how alarming it is when this goes off? That one, that one. And I said, it scares the bejesus out of us. So we're suddenly sitting around, we get that, and then we just go smoke, lavatory, and it is very, very disconcerting. 999 times out of 1,000, whatever it is, we get it. It's just somebody spraying hairspray, got an e-cigarette, whatever. It's actually not really a major issue, but obviously that could be a significant problem to have. And if that was genuine, if there was a genuine fire, we would be getting down very, very quickly and going, right, airport, don't know, one of these, decent one, give me a decent airport. Now I can get down to Geneva, maybe, somewhere. One of these. I'll be getting down very, very quickly and landing on the runway. If it was genuine fire. Again, sorry, I'm not really answering any questions because I'm just going through this. Sprinkler system, yeah. Yeah, it would be one way of doing it. What else they got? Fixed traffic indication ND should not have the altitude delta by affected. Okay, so I think they fixed the TCAS, which should be a bit better, certainly for VATSIM. Because it always seems to show plus 600 feet above, whatever, even though it's like a 1,000-foot separation. Fixed secondary calculation distance bug. Is there? Yeah, whatever. Okay, don't know, might have been a problem. What else is there? There's so many things they've done. That's in TCAS fix, again, limitation. Fixed erroneous FME indications during climb and current altitude exceeds next waypoint. Yeah, again, I don't really notice that. Fixed reversal. Flight 1 computer master warning up. Okay. Set auto TCAS off by default. Okay. FAC auto test extended simulation. Don't really know what they mean by that. Does that mean the triple click when you start everything, or maybe? FMS approach phase symbol disappears. What is London? 1018. 23 degrees, 240 at 12, a little bit of a wind, it's only 30 odd degrees off. Minimums, can't remember, 277, something like that, somewhere along those lines. 277, thank you. Let's say 1018. Funny, the screens seem to be a little bit faster now. Now I've got away from the ground. I don't know if that caused it at all. Oh, what else? There's still so many things. PFD, FD, FMA, policeman. Yeah, 1FD2, that's good. So again, these are things I've not really ever noticed. How APU test lights up wrong lights, now triggers APU. Really? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going about. Something about APU fire test. Occasion was put to standby horizon to correct altitude, which fixed, which should do. Optimum flight level on the ground. Progress based on data inserted fixed. Again, these all sort of things. Corrected soft cruise activation parameters. Fair enough. En route VOR should no longer double displayed on NDs. Okay. LGCRU 1 and 2 fault APs now added to inactive systems. Yeah, that makes sense. I think you lose both APs, we lose both LGCRUs. What else? God, there's so much stuff. Fixed hydraulic failure. God. I haven't got time to read all this. I really don't. But I mean, this is the thing. There were so many things. Remove the side stick realistic options. I wonder why they did that. I didn't notice any difference on realistic personally, but there you go. Fixed iris inner line should always show the greater than 7 symbol when time to align is equal to 7 minutes or more. Yeah, probably. I mean, this is trivial stuff. This is not stuff in the real world that we really pay any attention to. It's like, so as long as it works when you align the irises, you're happy. Visuals, copy displays make brighter. Yeah, that's better. Load of sounds. Call buttons enable gear retraction, gear wind noise, spoiler drag noise. Well, you don't hear the spoiler drag noise in the real. Wait, do you? Well, maybe you do. I've got noise cancelling headsets, so maybe I just don't hear it. Maybe you do hear it a little bit. I don't know. Expedite is a magic space button. Yeah, you generally don't really need to use that. Of course, you know, flight crew trainer manual FCOMs suggest not to use that above flight level 250 anyway. Autopilot roll can be a little too snappy on certain occasions. Can it pitch FD bar coupling could be better. Direct to with no from 2 entries cause crashes. Okay. Yeah, so still quite a few things, but there we go. So quite a lot of changes that they've done, but you know, good changes probably. I didn't really notice too many problems on the first version. Again, the first version that I really sort of noticed the issues with was it the sort of handling, I suppose, in very strong winds. And you know, I could handle it, I could manage it. It wasn't perfect, but you know, I sort of learned to just, I don't know, bully it, I suppose, is the only thing I can say. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. But you know, many people were saying it wasn't good enough, and they supposedly have fixed it. So it'd be interesting. We'll have a go at that. Hopefully, once we land, to see if we can find somewhere nice and windy and give it a go. So yeah, oh there we go, 2.4. So I was going to say that's a ridiculous amount of fuel. Let's say it took a, let's say it's not going to take 2 tons to get to Edinburgh, but let's say it did. If we had 2 tons to get to Edinburgh, a bit of extra fuel. Not that we're going there. Secondary, it's fine. So anyway, yeah, I'm back in the chat now. I can actually see things. See terrain boxes. See, we have 2 terrain boxes that I saw on my real world flight, and now it's on the PFD. What? Nick, sorry? I've missed that. I've completely lost track of what you're saying then. Terrain boxes on the on the PFD. How would you put variable winds into the Mach 2, Harry? Variable generally means less than 3 knots, so if it's landing, I would just put the runway centerline. So if it's variable at 2, I would just go, it's runway 27 in Heathrow, so I'll just go 270 degrees at 3 knots, whatever. The winds are so light, it doesn't make any difference to ground speed mini or VAP or anything like that, really. Yellow boxes. Bottom right, 2 amber boxes. Oh, do you mean this? So this is on the range setting you have. It shows the highest elevation and 1600 feet. Now I'm going to have to get my FCOM out for this. I want to say that is the height of the highest obstacle rather than the 1,000 foot clearance on the highest obstacle, I think, but I could be wrong. Let me just double check that, which means searching for it in the FCOM. But yeah, that's, I think that's the lowest peak around, or the lowest obstacle, and then that's the highest. So I knew if I was going to descend, I mean it's not very big range, it's a bit ridiculous, but I would be quite safe to descend to 2,000 feet and generally not hit anything. If I was to zoom out a bit, obviously these values then change because the range has increased. So now you've got like up to 3,000 feet. If we headed towards Mont Blanc, I don't know what this is doing. I don't know what this is doing. This is not normal. Yeah, if we headed towards Mont Blanc, that would say like 178 or something possibly. Let me have a quick butchers. Oh, you're asking me to find something now in a manual quickly. FCOM systems. I want to say it's indications on ND, GPWS. Yes, there we go. Go on, look at that. See, I found it. Go on. Lowest and highest elevations, the minimum and maximum elevations encountered ahead of the aircraft with the ND at the selected range. The colour code of the elevation figures is the same as for the EDPWS terrain picture. So the elevations shown on the ND correspond to the terrain included in the selected ND range ahead of the aircraft. In ARC mode, these elevations are linked with the terrain display on the ND. In Rose mode, the elevations may not represent the lowest and highest terrain currently displayed. So I think if you're in nav mode, yeah, it's just stuff ahead of you rather than stuff behind you. But yeah, basically it's the minimum and maximum elevations encountered. I don't know if that means elevations of terrain or whether that actually means obstacles. It's a bit vague on that one. But it gives you a rough figure to hang your hat on, to say, well, I can get down to probably, there you go, I can get down to 5,000 feet and probably not hit anything. So what else? No train, still might hit some birds, crazy engineers in there, potentially, yeah. You could hit them. Right, what else have we got to test or do? Anything? Not really. I mean, everything else seems to have behaved now, but I do think we need to adjust those settings on the ground. Is that below? Yeah, it is. How busy is Heathrow at the minute? It doesn't look too busy, actually. Are they using 27 left for arrivals in real life? Let's have a look. Yes, they are. Good. Was it? They usually swap over at 3, isn't it? So that's all right. And use 27 left. I've got no idea where ITA lands or park in Heathrow. Absolutely no idea. I want to say Terminal 3, but I can't actually remember. I used to see him. Are they part of Star Alliance? I can't actually remember. I have a funny feeling they're around here somewhere, so that's probably where I'm going to park, somewhere around here, just because it's vacate and then park is nice and easy then. Flying to Vagar on a Gaffins. Yeah, Lemon, I was going to do that. I've got the scenery for it. I can't remember who it is. Is it MX Studios? I can't remember, MM, whoever it is. And that was going to be my first stream after the new update. I was going to do a Vagar Heathrow or something and back. But then I looked at the route maps. They don't do that anymore. Is it Faroe Islands? They don't do that route. They do Edinburgh, which is quite a quick one. It's probably quite easy to do that sort of a there and back 2-sector stream, which I was tempted to do. But then I wouldn't have had much time to talk about some of the changes. So I thought, well, should I just sort of do a bit of a longer flight so I can chat about things and talk about what I know. Let's do that. Or do I do a shorter flight and then just sort of see how things go? And I thought, well, I'll do a slightly longer flight, it's a bit better. Can I ask about the smoking thing? I think you missed it. It was going through the list. Would an alarm go off in the cabin if smoke detector went off? Would you? No. Yeah, it would. Yeah, definitely would, Nick. They would know about it. Trust me. So yeah. Let's get you in. So the cabin crew have something called. What the hell is it called? So this is why I don't look in the back. Because I ain't got a fucking clue any of this thing's called or anything. So there are. Where is it? Is it? They modelled it, I don't think. So yeah, they have something called a FAP, which is a forward attendant panel, which unfortunately this is a very, very old one. Most of the modern aircraft, this is all digital now, so it's all touchscreen and they control things like lights, temperatures and various other things. This is sort of relics of old. So yes, something would obviously come up in there, and then they also have, what are they called? Dunno. There's some lights that hang down. I don't think they've actually modelled it. No, because when somebody goes into the toilet and they lock it, there's little red and green toilet symbols. So when it's locked, it goes red. When it's unlocked and it's empty, it goes green. And there's something that hangs down around here, from what I remember, and there is blue, red, and amber lights. I think. Again, I can't remember. This is horrific. See, this is why I don't. This is why I didn't. Yeah, not that one. If they modelled it at all, and there's usually, it depends on the size of the aircraft. Like the 320s, I think they have 3. There's one in the middle here near the exit. There's one at the back, and then there's one at the front as well. And I think when you get a lavatory smoke detector go off, the red lights come on because it's bad. Red's not good, so that goes off. I think they get a chime in the cabin as well. They get something because every time a chime goes off, I think one of these lights lights up. So if you, I don't know. It's really bad. I think if you press passenger call bell, yeah, none of this works. I think the blue light comes on because it means somebody's pressed the passenger call bell. And the blue light goes on, I believe, which means somebody's called a passenger bell. And then there's usually a little LCD screen. Oh dear, it's not armed. Naughty, that should be armed. Yeah, there's a little LCD screen here in the sort of front of the hat bins. These things here, and that would tell you what call bell's gone off. So say you're on 23 Charlie or something, and this blue light button goes up here as well, and I think they might be able to press it to acknowledge it. I don't know. Amber lights mean something else, and I can't remember. Again, I could look at the cabin manual for this, and then the red lights mean that the fire alarm has gone off in the toilet, which isn't good news. So they definitely know about it. So they obviously drop everything and they go running towards the toilet. They usually barge in because it's usually somebody just having a cheeky cigarette or e-cigarette. Sometimes it's hairspray. That sets off, be quite innocent. And then they obviously have to go and check, and yeah, the last time this happened to me, the lavatory smoke detector went off. Somebody was taking a leak, urinating. The cabin manager obviously barged in on them having a leak, and this guy was claiming his innocence, or preaching his innocence. But he said to the cabin, I think he said to the cabin crew, he said, it was somebody ahead of me or something, I haven't done anything, it was somebody ahead of me. And when I spoke to him, I said, the greatest respects, these fire detectors don't not do anything for 2 or 3 minutes and then decide to go off. It kind of defeats the purpose of a fire. A smoke detector is they need to work almost instantly. So if that thing's gone off, it means something has happened almost instantly in the lavatory. But there was no real evidence. We didn't do anything about it. Didn't find anything. That was it. But Always wanted to push the bell, but I'm afraid it's a sin to annoy the cabin crew. How else do you get your gin and tonic, Dan? Yeah, you got to do. How about set the winds manually on a flight deck to 5 hours, 35 knot Christian? Yes, Christian. That's not a bad idea. I can do that. We can reposition once we've done all this. So yeah, 30. Although, yeah, this is where you have to be a little bit pragmatic about things. What is it? EKVG, is it? Yeah, there we go. So in our airline, it was the ground charts. There they are. Something. There might be something in there. Is there anything in there? See if there's any limits. Restrictions. Interesting. Yeah, so in our airline we have restrictions on the crosswind limits. So if it's anything less than 45 meters, there's usually a crosswind restriction that we can't go up to the max 38 knots. It's usually around 20. Any sort of narrow runway, there's usually a 20 knot crosswind limit, because it's a narrow runway. So of course, if it's a narrow runway, it's harder to stay on the centre line. So the lower the winds, the easier it is, which is why there's restrictions. Now this isn't an Airbus restriction. You can land up to 38 knots on a narrow runway if you so wish. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do. So landing in max crosswinds on a narrow runway, although it's probably demonstrable, is that a word? Probably. Even though we could possibly do it, it's probably not really a very good pragmatic example of what we should be doing, because we shouldn't be doing that. But we can play with it a little bit, so do whatever. GNT for right, that's it. Right, you're banned, Dan. That's it. You got to go on timeout now for 30 minutes. GNT is vile. It's a sad day. It might make things worse. Yeah, yeah, probably not. How would you? Here's a quick question. I've got a little heart symbol on my chat in YouTube, and I want to get rid of it because I can't actually click on the messages. How would you get rid of that little heart symbol? I don't know how the hell you do it. It's some YouTube thing. Right, anyway, not far to go, which is good. Do we have any ATC online just yet? Gatwick, so we could divert to Gatwick, I suppose. That'd be fun. Yeah, so everyone's pressing on it. But how'd you get rid of it? I want to get rid of it. If you have, say, unblock origin. No, you lost me. Oh, there you go. I can ask questions as well. That's quite good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, clouds. A little bit cloudy out the window. Nothing too significant. Let's have a quick look at the weather. My flights. Oh, there we go. That's all. Arrival 2:40 at 12. That's good. TAF, I think it's fine. What have we got? Coming. Prop 30 tempo, 8,000 meters, rain showers. That's fine. Can handle that. Yeah, so I think the only thing that I've found so far is everything seemed a little bit stuttery or laggy, which I think in the Fenix app I can do something to sync screens. So I've been afraid just on a yeah, it's annoying. I wish I'd just get rid of it, or just move it. I don't even care if it just moves to the middle of the screen or something. Just move it away from the bottom right hand side when I'm trying to bloody pin things or something. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so the only thing seems to be a bit laggy or something on the ground. Not the sim or anything else, not moving around, not the actual aircraft. It just, the screens seemed a bit laggy. I don't quite know why. But there we go. Alright, that's done. I think the lower brake, full flat would be fine for Heathrow. A chart could be quite useful, can it? I'm not really that cash. Oh, there's one pinned up, good. Listen.
Traffic, Scandinavian 567 established
another chart would be quite useful. The RLS could be quite useful. 27 left, there we go, that one. And where's the... That's... Is that right? That's not right. There should be a transition somewhere. Star. Initial, there we go, initial approach from bigging. So I probably won't do the initial approach, I'll probably just go bigging straight to the centre fix, certainly if it's not particularly busy. Missed approach is a bit of a gotcha on this one. Missed approach is only 2,000 feet on this one. Just deconfliction of any departures that are obviously turning off to the southeast. Minimum's 277. Oh, that was well remembered, wasn't it? 277. MSO is not an issue. And what is parking charts? Airport's got that. And taxi. There's me parking. There we go. Parking stands. That one. Right, that's the Navigraph done. Google, YouTube always take one step forward but 12 step back. So yeah, trying to ban down in the bloody heart in a way. Just blocked the video. How did you do that? Right, so what time are we landing? In 35 minutes. Do I have time? I might go and make myself a quick sarnie now. Otherwise I'll be late. Yeah, I'm going to make a quick sandwich now and I'll be off for 2 or 3 minutes while I make that quickly. Make sure the dog's alright and not killed himself. And I shall be back. And I've got that. I need to get a drink as well. Right, there you go. Well, entertain yourselves for a minute or two. Enjoy the views. Enjoy the views of Paris, wherever they are. I've got no idea. Don't matter. I shall be back in a second. Right, off air. Apologies if you hear me chewing. I'll try to be quiet, but no. Alright, what we got? Doing base train movement the other day, landing factory. Change back to flap 2. Hey, change back to flap 2 before I went toga. Eh, what do you do that for? Why would you change your flaps before going toga? That's not how you do it. Lost in translation now, I'm sure. When is the only time you'd move from flap 3 to flap 2? Oh, right. Oh, right, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, go on. Yeah. Okay, whatever. So that's what happens when I get halfway through a question. Well, what have I got to do? Not much. I was still waiting for weather radars. That's okay. I'm not too bothered about the weather radar. Don't have an op sticker on it though. I thought they were going to put in an op sticker. Or was that fly-by-wire? I can't quite remember. I do quite like that. A little inoperative sticker. Oh, stop moving. Making people sick. Keep dirty config for windshield. Yeah, sure. Standard windshield recovery actions. Not too brief. Usually just sort of go through as it's part of the threat and error management as the brief into the arrival. You know, if it's really high winds, obviously. You know, wind shear is a problem. There you go. Here's a quiz question. How many people are going to get this right? At what height does the reactive wind shear work? Or between what heights, should I say? There you go. No cheating. Yeah, my mouth. Nobody bloody listens to me anyway. Nobody ever listens to my betting. Yeah. Nobody listens to my PAs. Nope. Oh, Leon Aviator. It's gone in there. Yeah, fair play. That's it. So yeah, reactive wind shear only works between 1300 feet down to 50 feet, which is a little bit of a threat. So if you've got a really, really windy day, you may not know you have a reactive wind shear below 50 feet. So you could have a reactive wind shear issue in the flare, but you won't actually know about it. I mean, you would feel it probably, but you wouldn't actually be alerted about it. And really, at that point, you just read it. If you think the aircraft's going to drop out of the sky, you just floor it and toga it. Well, there's a couple of caveats. You need a configuration selected as well, and it's only available 3 seconds after taking off. So yeah, a bit of technical knowledge there for people. If you do have really, really strong winds, certainly a fact. Places like Madeira as well, because obviously you're crossing sort of 50 feet as you almost cross the sort of threshold of the runway. So you can get really sort of turbulent winds in Madeira. So you might actually have a reactive wind shear issue, or well, be in a wind shear issue in the flare in Madeira, and you won't actually know about it. Alright, I should do a last little fuel check. So Abnur, just a quick look at that. Ton on top of that, wasn't it? 400. So about 3.8. No, 3.8, spot on. Good enough. Keep knocking me pound coins over. There you go. I've got £4 coins on my desk. Oh, London controls on. Awesome. We might have some ATC. That's quite nice. Oh, are they? 33.7. Or is it north? I think it's only north though, isn't it? No, maybe they won't control us. It's boring. Just dropping on me ham. So there's probably some people listening to this and their skin's crawling. They're probably just thinking, oh shut up, I hate listening to you eat. And then some people find it therapeutic. Some people enjoy listening to people eat. They're very weird. That's not me. There you go, I'll finish now. Apart from the corners of the crusts. Yeah, where's my thingy? Serious question, what kind of sandwich are you eating? Oh, there we go. So it's ham and piccalilli. And it was the finely chopped piccalilli as well, so it's very nice. Yeah, it's London North. It's boring. Oh well, I'm not here for the ATC. Right, anyway, let's look at starting to go down. Alesso was the first constraint, it's 150 at Etfax. So let's get it in. So it's be interesting as well. So apparently the managed speed profile has been, oh god, yeah, it's a bit, oh, it's laggy. Laggy. This might be interesting on the approach because it might be very laggy. So yeah, apparently it, still not right, is it? Yeah, flight 80 oblique. Yeah, it hugs the bottom of the speed tape on a managed descent. Now it would do that now because we haven't got to the top of descent point yet. So if we were to go into managed descent now, let's try that out. It will go, or it should go, to the bottom of the speed tape because we're, well, I mean, it might stay more or less as it is because we're more or less on profile, but. Alright, let's get a call in. Heathrow traffic ETA 1544 is descending flight level 180 to be level at Etfax for the Alesso 1 hotel arrival for Heathrow. Oh, bloody gun, it's barking again. Okay, it's targeting 1,000 feet a minute initially because it's below the profile, so that's all correct, which again, the original one used to do that. 270 is the managed speed, I think, or 299. Okay. Oh, there you go. It's going to accelerate. Go 74. 270. Normally, you can't really change this. Once you start in the descent phase, this goes green, and you can't change it. Why have you not? Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, we're getting laggy again now. So you can't usually change that in the descent phase. It's only something you can do once you add a cruise or an altitude captured mode. Impressions on version 2? Yeah, it's pretty good. Fly sim pseudo, not too bad. It's a bit laggy, which may be me. It may be because I haven't ticked the screen synchronization on the app. So I need to go back and do that. I'm one of those people who can't stand episode bits. Yes, sorry. Yeah, I've got a packet of Doritos here. Should I just do that? Yeah, but I won't subject you to that at the minute. Yeah. Is it normal to start a climbing rate of flight after passing constraints? Yeah, it can be. Very low down to the ground, it could be, yeah. Yeah, 4,000 feet a minute is not abnormal. Certainly not when you're relatively lightweight and you've got good climb thrust on. Why didn't that start? I did press that. Yeah, now it's working. Yeah, that was... Yeah, I'm fairly sure I pressed that as we lined up and took off, but that should instantly, as soon as you press it once, it should just go off and it should start. Yeah, it's doing it now. Interesting. Yeah, interesting as well. A lot of the aircraft, a lot of our aircraft have got an FMS2 update now. We don't really have this speed gate anymore. They've updated the vertical navigation part of the management guidance system. Ugh. Oh, I'd have to read the tech notes about that. But they've sort of lost the gates and now they just latch onto a profile and the speed just hovers up and down, really. You sort of lose these upper and lower gates and it just accelerates and decelerates as necessary. So yeah, that's an FMS2 upgrade, which I don't know if the Neo, has the fly-by-wire got that? Might do, I don't know. You sound like you're from Heathrow. I'm based in Crewe, south of Manchester. No chance, definitely not. I've been told, what was I told last week? I had a number of people say, where are you from? He said, you sound almost American Canadian. I was like, nope. So, are you Northern? I was like, no. So I had about 4 or 5 locations pins to me in terms of where I was possibly from, and I wasn't from any single one of the places that they said. But there we go. I've obviously got a funny accent, you see. I do my Spanish accent in a minute. Anyway, it's sent north, south coast of the UK. It's looking good. Need to keep an eye on the radar. If not any speed constraint, you could also set the high speed if you don't want to climb. But the faster you go, yeah, basically it's. There's a sort of limit really on what you're comfortable with. You know, I'm quite happy rocketing up really, to be honest. I mean, you can sort of brief it. I mean, if it's quite early on in the climb and on the departure, you just leave the cabin crew in, you know, until you sort of mellowed off to a better sort of speed, 250 knots, better sort of pitch attitude, and then you can let the crew out. Yeah. I've got mistaken full sorts. New Zealand, Australia, America, Canadian, Irish, yeah. I don't think I've got much of an accent. Oh, right, I really should have put shoes on. Controlling the rudder pedals with just wearing socks is not really the best way of doing this. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the weather. Is it changed? 31 minutes. It should be a new one. 11:50. Yeah, it should be one at 12:50. There should be another one coming up any minute now. Do we have any ATC yet? No. So nobody in Heathrow. Oh, well, whatever. Nobody on the text. Good. Yeah. Someone think I was South African. Yeah, I can't do South African. I'd love to do a South African accent. So I noticed the ground is that when releasing park and brake aircraft start moving under a power update. I know this is. Is the schedule? Is it really going to? Depends on how heavy you are, Mark. If you're empty, if you're positioning the aircraft, it's just, you know, you and the FO and the captain, whoever it is. No cabin crew, no passengers. Yes, it can do it. Idle power is still usually enough just to get going without too many problems. As soon as you start getting passengers on, there is a point. I don't know what weight it is. You know, I don't know, 58 tons, 60 tons maybe. You need a little bit of thrust just to get going. Obviously, the heavier you are, the more thrust you need to sort of get going. But you know, once you are going, it's usually okay. You don't need too much thrust to keep going. How often do you receive? I can't read. See, this is why this heart's in the bloody way. I can't receive what? Something via the Mac 2 in real life ops. You can see that's on Chesil Street. Yeah, I'm not too sure that would. Not too sure the passengers would be too happy with that. Oh, receive PDC. Oh, 70% of the time, 75% of the time. Most airlines, or sorry, most airports now have PDC clearance. Some don't. Some of the smaller places still don't. Some do. Do you think taxi's easier since vegetables to be? Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I thought the. Let's keep going down. I did think that it did require quite a bit of thrust. There is speeds. Let's go open so. Yeah, I did think it needed a fair bit of thrust in the earlier version to get going. But I didn't seem quite as much in this one this time, which is quite nice. Right, should we tidy this box up? Because I'm going to do all of that. CI27 left. That one. Right, there we go. So big in straight up. Heathrow traffic. ETA 1544 is heading direct to Biggin and then straight for the centre fix for the RLS of runway 27 left. Alright, that's on. Let's strap you guys in. That's done. Let's get that on for us. That'll work. Any chance you've flown local airports? I haven't, Lemon, actually, funny enough. I think it's been rostered a few times, never actually done it. You know, it's somewhere which I might do at some point. Which flies nicest, 319, 320 or 321 generally. I think does flare like a twat though. Flare law's a bit stupid. But yeah, generally it's a nicer aircraft. Right, that's all done. That's done. That's done. Keep an eye on the thingies. There we go, Tiger. This is where I think when Fenix released the 321, that I'm hoping will be an absolute dream, because it's how the 321 should fly really, with a proper flare law. You know, and if they get those with IE engines, oh, you know, excuse myself if I do just wet myself a few times when that comes out. Yes, no, that's going to be a lovely aircraft, and that will be my new favourite aircraft. I will be upgrading from the 320 to the 321, and that will be probably 90% of most of my streams, because that is the 321 CO. Oh, that was a lovely aircraft. So, suit you, sir. Yeah, right. Any ATC yet? No. Still London North. Oh, who's that? No, it's BA. Can you slow the approach for 10 knots? Certainly can. Yes, sir. Right, so somebody, I think ahead of me, so I'm just going to slow down. Let's go 250. Heathrow traffic ETA 1544 is slowing down to 250 knots. Coming, yeah, come on. 250 now. Oh, there we go. Heathrow Tower's on. You've just jumped on. Right, 18.5. This is all academic if my PC just grinds to a halt. So what have we got distance-wise? About 30 odd miles and about 11,000 feet. So we're just about there on profile, maybe a little bit just to slow down. So not doing too bad. Let's activate the approach phase. Let's get the Italian speed brakes out just to help us out. They're out. Little bit of traffic around. Oh, they are climbing, so they should be getting out of the way, not getting in the way. Ooh, yeah, here we go. Here's where the lags start. You can see, you can tell it's all getting a bit laggy. Have you seen the FS Lab almost done with a pointy thing? Yeah, well, I don't have pre-3D, so you know, it's kind of, I don't have P3D. I'm not going to get P3D. I'm sure it's very, very nice, but I don't have any intentions of getting it. Right, flight level 70 is blue, thrust open descent. Let's have a look at this. Date. So Air France has just come out. There we go, somebody. I'm ahead of you, buddy. Why have I slowed down? You're coming in as well, and you're coming in. Yeah, God. So we've got 4 people coming at the same time. Why am I... See, somebody's coming in this way. So there's 2 up here. There's 2. I'm going to come out. I'll tell you what. Let's go north. 340. 330. Heathrow traffic. ETA 1544 is taking on a heading 340 degrees after bigging. Descending to 3,000 feet for the ILS approach onto runway 27 left. To manage you, let's go down to 3. Set you 1018, and you 3,000 blue. Might be interesting. India Lima Lima's identified. Let's go north a bit. Let's see if we can sneak in behind this one. Inbound is 089, that looks about right. So that line's extended. Actually, really, I've got position over him, so I'm about to be on the centre line and he isn't, so...
Diesel traffic, just to best we can take via Alpha 3, line up on
Again, 18 miles, but 6,000 feet, so pretty much bang on profile.
Heathrow traffic, the tower is just coming online. Heathrow.
Oops. So I'm you up. ISO block blue, Cat 3 dual AP 1 and 2. I don't know where the glide slope is yet. There we go. Rockstar. Heathrow traffic, ETA 1544 is localised established. 27 left at 17 miles. Well, at least the weather's not too bad, so it's not too laggy. Yeah, speed, glide slope, star. That was very late capture. 2,000 feet is the missed approach. Let's go flap 1, speeds jets. Flap 1. Is he going to go in front of me? Probably is.
Diesel traffic, passing runway 27 right.
There he is. I wonder if he's going to land on 27 right. Who is this? It's a Speedbird 53 Whiskey uniform from Vienna. So you might be going on 27 right, I don't know. Speedbird 53 Whiskey uniform, you on the Unicom?
Hey, Fem, Speedbird 53 Whiskey.
Are you going to go in front of me or are you going on 27 right?
Oh, sorry, and speed 4, Speedbird 53 Whiskey.
Say again. Yeah, you are literally about to cut me up. Ah, brilliant. Flap 2. So you are going to cut me up then. Hello. Fucking noobs. Fuck's sake.
Hester, are you telling me to contact our speed advisory system?
Foxtrot departure.
Pivot to Heathrow, hello, Roger, Quebec, shortly number 2 for clearance. Pivot 4 Golf clearance when you're ready to copy. Pivot 4 Golf clearance when you're ready to copy.
No,
For 8 Golf, ready to copy now.
Pivot 4 Golf clear to Zadar, Gatling to Fox, Squawk 1413.
Clear to Zagreb, we are deadling to Foxtrot and squawking 1413 for speedbird for a Golf.
Pivot 4 Golf, correct.
Heathrow Tower, hello, Eva 1544 on the LS 27 left. We're at 8 miles. We're being brutally cut up by somebody in front of us, but if you can do us a favour and send him around, that'd be great.
It's Tower 1544 Heathrow, hello, Roger. Continue approach for 27 left, number 2. It's just disconnected for you.
Thank you very much. Continue approach 27 left. ETA 1544. There we go.
Eva 21 Hotel 7545 at push and start, please.
Right, that's done. That's done.
It's all
It's all about being commanding. That's it. You just got to tell people what you want. That's done. That's done. That's
545
on
push and
you.
start approved, facing to the north, Eva 21 Hotel, thanks.
I think it's all done. Just waiting for that to come up. There's obviously somebody behind. So, yeah, a little bit of wind. This will be quite interesting because it's obviously not that car. So anyway, gears down, flap full, everything. That's all done. His approach altitude set. That's all done. That's done. And he come in with his jets.
Heathrow Tower, speedbird 777.
I mean, it seems to be reasonably okay on the frames.
Rep,
I got the Orbx City. I'm not that I looked at it much, but I mean, it is there in the background.
It's Tower 154427 left, clear to land, the wind's 240 degrees, 12 knots.
Thank you very much. Clear land 27 left, Itaru 1544.
777
And it's certainly dominant
taxi
pilot,
left on
yes.
Alpha,
Who would know?
508.
Right, let's try and do this with my socks on.
Speedbird
Giggity.
04 Golf, you're fully ready for departure.
48 Golf, A firm.
04 Golf, thanks.
So I think the PFD up,
27 left, clear to take off.
the refresh rate is probably a little bit laggy.
27 right.
So this is almost going to be just look out the window jobby, I think. I could just leave it in, it's just easier and just leave the autopilot to it. He really disconnected, yeah. Hey, you know, you gotta say these things. Have a nice landing. Yeah, this is the proof in the pudding now. See how good version 2 is. I mean, it's getting a bit laggy, which is not helping. So I don't quite know what it's doing. It is struggling. Yeah, really struggling. Struggling over something. Alright, disconnecting.
500.
That's stable.
Tower, good afternoon. It's Shamrock 16 Charlie with PDC. Request push and start, please.
Star 16 Charlie Heathrow, head ISM 221 left, push and start approved, facing east.
100 above.
221 left, push and start, please. Facing east. Shamrock 16 Charlie.
200.
So I expect my nose to be pointing a bit more to the left with that wind.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Ew. It's very...
10, 5,
very sensitive. Alright, spoilers. First green. Decel. And your brakes.
Search for Golf, contact London Control 129.425.
129.425 for Speedbird for a Golf. Thank you very much.
Ooh, that should have been. I saw a roll out there and just one. That should be an FMA across both columns there. Ugh, are you going to give way to me? Why? Why has he sent him down there? Don't send people down that taxiway. Well, he's not going to give way, is he? Of course he isn't. Oh, honestly. Amateurs. Come on, get out of the fucking way.
Retro 1544, welcome to Heathrow. Give way to the BA passing from right to left, then taxi. Second right onto Bravo, hold short of Kilo.
Bravo, hold short of Kilo, and give away easy. It's RO 1544.